Hello and welcome to VOA's Red Carpet. My name is Jackson Vunganyi. Thank you so much for joining us today. On this episode, we go inside the world of Australian multidisciplinary artist Serwah Attafuah. And Miss Africa USA 2023 plans to raise awareness about education reform for children with special needs. Let's get on with the show. And let's start the show with some highlights of the latest entertainment news from around the world. And in film news, Belgian-Congolese artist turned filmmaker Baloji's debut feature film Omen has been picked up by European distribution company Memento International and is slated to premiere at Cannes. Baloji broke through as a musician in the early 2000s as part of the group Staflam. He so far released 3 albums and directed several music videos, including Peu de Chagrin, Bleu de Nuit. And in more film news, Hollywood actor Idris Elba has joined the Lyric Hammersmith Theatre as an associate producer for the UK production of Schoolgirls, or the African Mean Girls play by Jocelyn Bayo. The play takes place in 1986 at Ghana's prestigious Aburi Girls Boarding School and follows Queen Bee Paulina and her crew. And now to some art news. Known for her innovative approach to digital art, music, and creative direction, multidisciplinary Ghanaian-Australian artist Serwah Attafuah's work has captured the attention of audiences worldwide. VOA's Kali Abdu sat down with Serwah to discuss her artistic journey, inspirations, and her thoughts on the future of digital art. Let's take a look.
Serwah Attafuah's groundbreaking work seamlessly fuses technology, cultural heritage, and futuristic themes. As a digital artist, musician, and creative director, Serwah has earned international acclaim for her multidisciplinary approach to creativity. She opened up about her journey into the world of digital art.
I was really intrigued with how I could use computers to make art. So back in like 2012 now, I just downloaded a bunch of free programs and just gave it a crack, just pressed every single button till it sort of made sense. And yeah, I guess just also continuing my culture throughout the digital space was super important to me in my art, for sure.
Serwah's innovative work has led to collaborations with high-profile celebrities and brands, solidifying her status as a creative force in the industry. Apart from digital art, Serwah is also an accomplished musician.
I started a couple bands almost like 10 years ago now. I play like death metal guitars like crazy, pretty intense heavy metal guitars, and I do vocals and stuff like that. So my music's always been quite extreme, and my music's always been pretty political. So yeah, it's always been a passion of mine to incorporate decolonial thoughts into music, and I guess that crosses over into my artwork too. A lot of my artwork has come from me trying to, protect my culture and carry out my culture through the digital space.
With digital art continuing to evolve, Serwah is optimistic about the potential it holds for bringing together artists from Africa and other countries.
I'm saying just especially with this whole NFT thing, I've met so many fantastic African artists and so many fantastic African American artists, even Africans in the wider diaspora, such as myself and people in England and across Europe. So I'm really finding such a strong community of people like myself that I can connect with that I've never been able to, find before.
Embracing innovation and pushing creative boundaries, Serwah Attafuah's captivating artistry continues to evolve, leaving a lasting impact on viewers and inspiring creativity across cultures and borders. Kali Abdu, VOA News, Washington, D.C.
And now to more film news. Folashade Ogomankon, the founder of Unscripted TV, a streaming platform focused on promoting Black content producers, is using her platform to create an international market for African movie makers by linking them to the diaspora. During a recent interview with my colleague Mike Hove, Ogomankon explained the importance of uplifting Black creatives and how she's creating international markets for African producers and entrepreneurs. Here is more.
The choice to only promote Black-led content really came from my entire experience in this industry. And I just noticed there was a disparity. I noticed that they don't properly, or the people in power don't properly protect our images and protect our stories. And it felt like, well, why are we waiting for someone else to do it? Why can't we just do it ourselves?
Now, you're of Nigerian descent.
Yes.
So I want to tap into the continent itself. How is unscripted working on the continent, or how is unscripted TV boosting the continent?
I love that question because unscripted is boosting the content because we do have a lot of Nigerian descent or even African descent creators on our platform. But the entire goal of unscripted is to literally be like the gap, like bridging the gap, the bridge between the gap of America, Colombia, Brazil, Belize, and the continent and the motherland.
Now, I'm also curious because I grew up on the continent, obviously, and one of the biggest things was Nollywood. That was my thing growing up. Over the years, I've seen Nollywood, just like we just highlighted earlier on, the quality dramatically, get better. Talk to me about how, I guess, platforms like yours are contributing towards ensuring that ecosystem grows and the quality gets better.
Ooh, great. See, so the whole point, okay, great question, right? The whole point of what we're doing is we're starting here, right? We're creating content here, but the goal is to have production houses and connections to these content creators across the globe that are creating the content there. So therefore, if there are amazing content creators that are in Nigeria or that are trying to break more into the community that's in America or in other spaces, then we can partner with them. We can have their content on our network and we can do a vice versa.
Is it important to be able to tell Black stories?
Of course. Why? Because history will rewrite itself if you don't stand on it. If we don't tell our stories, somebody else will. And it might not be the way that we want them to, and it might not speak to what we agree with and where we're going, and it could completely eradicate certain things that we've done.
It's unscripted, Netflix, I know Amazon. There's a lot of platforms that are giving, using that space to promote, I will call it the diaspora. Mm-hmm. How is unscripted TV different from Netflix, from Amazon? Why should I come to your platform?
It's different from Netflix, from Amazon, because one, we're younger, which means that we can take chances and we can do things to grow a whole lot differently. And also, our stories are more authentic here.
Miss Africa USA 2023 winner Snit Tewoldemedhin says that she intends to use her platform to create more awareness on issues around education reform for special needs children. I spoke to the 24-year-old senior neuroscience student, and she says that she was inspired by her young sister who has Down syndrome and wants to break the stigma associated with special needs children, which can be very harmful to them and their families. Snit, who is Eritrean American, says she wants the world to know that children with special needs are a blessing and not a curse. Let's take a look. Snit, thank you so much for joining us. First of all, congratulations for winning the Miss Africa USA beauty pageant. So what are you hoping to use this platform for? What are some of the issues that you want to amplify, to highlight with your platform?
So my platform is called Designing for Diversity.
Designing for Diversity.
Yes,
okay.
And it's aimed to rethink and renovate the curriculum for special needs children. I do that because I have a younger sister who has Down syndrome, and I wanted to use this opportunity to bring awareness to African countries that children like her are actually a blessing and not a curse like we originally think back home. And I'd also like to make some changes to my abilities in the curriculum and in the materials that they use at school.
You're currently a student, is that what you're studying?
Yes, I'm studying neuroscience.
Okay, what are some of the gaps that exist in the education for these, I guess they call them special needs children?
So I realized that she has great social skills. She's very welcome, enjoys her school experience, except for I realized that they do go to school to more or so get the experience of school instead of getting educated to gain some skills. They do apparently end up gaining some skills, although I don't think that their whole gifts are being leveraged into their own advantage. So I wanted to, study more about them and see how materials could be more fitting to them rather than them fitting to the curriculum that already exists.
Right.
So yeah.
That's awesome. So aside from that, any other issues that you are passionate about?
I guess I do, since I'm a teacher at Montessori school, it has been a great experience because I got to learn some of the materials that could be very great for children like my sister, and potentially maybe edit some of those into their advantage. And the other thing is I grew very passionate towards children after my younger sister. So yeah, I would love to inspire younger children because after all, once they grow up, they become the leaders of the world. So.
And growing up, are there some people that inspired you? Some people you look up to?
So if I had to speak of someone who inspired me to help my sister was Helen Keller, if you know about her.
No, I don't.
She is, she's actually very famous because she is blind and deaf at the same time. And she has had a very great teacher who supported her to become a famous writer. And so I thought if she was blind and deaf, she could have been hopeless if she was in the wrong society. But once she ended up in the right hands, she was able to become...
To excel.
Yes.
Right. So sometimes you need the right people around you to push you forward.
Yes. And apart from that, I'd say my family has been a big influence. Everyone, pretty much everyone, is a big dreamer. They want something big for you and they want something big for themselves.
Speaking of family, what was their reaction when you won?
They were very happy and they also said that they were expecting it.
They were expecting it?
Yes,
more
more than
nice.
I
They
did.
believed in you.
Yes, and that's a privilege.
It's nice to have a family circle that actually believes in you and expects you to win on such a big platform. And finally, I wanted to ask, talking about family, your parents are originally from Eritrea.
Yes.
What can you tell us about the Eritrean community here in the Washington, D.C. area?
So I've not only become Miss Africa USA, but also the People's Princess. So I got 2 crowns during the competition. And one crown, especially the People's Princess, was due to all the love they were showing me through their votes. And apart from that, most of them also showed up to the competition where they physically got to support me.
So your whole community, your whole family were behind you?
Yes, yes.
And that's how you won the People's Princess?
Yes. And also the competition. Although I was nervous and everything, seeing my family's faces, seeing the community just brightened me up and enhanced my confidence. So yes, I'm very grateful for my family and community for getting me this far.
Snit, thank you so much for taking time to come and say hello to us here at the Voice of America.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you so much for watching VOA's Red Carpet. My name is Jackson Vunganyi. For more entertainment news, remember to check us out at voaafrica.com. We're also on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube. Do not forget to like, to share, and to subscribe. Until next time, goodbye, everyone.